Hello. Suddenly the music is louder because I don't have replay gain set up. Hi. Happy Sunday, I think it is. How is everybody? Voxel, welcome in. YGY, hello, good to see you. This was kind of a spur of the moment decision. Yes, hello Poppy, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to the chat. Hi, you're a cutie. You're a cutie, yes. Poppy, we have a Poppy on stream. She's sitting on her shelf, and I have two cameras trained on her right now. There's this one, and there's this one. But this one is close up, so we'll use that one. Yeah, just kind of impulsive decision to try and do a little stream, because the weekend seems to be better for me, brain-wise. And I was still recovering on the Saturday. I had OKR planning this week at work, so no, brain all used up. But I just fixed my microphone, and I guess that deserves a bit of a celebration, right? We can do a little streamy stream, see where I was up to with the Gamedev, because there's a DOSember game jam going on, if you're not aware. Bang. I always get trolled by this chat dock in my OBS, because it looks like it has keyboard input focus, but it does not. So, yeah, I have a vague plan to do a very, very low-effort game in QBasic. Why not? And let me go to a scene that has it. Is it this one? Yes. So, my plan was... Sorry, there's cars going by outside, and I need the window open because it's kind of hot and humid today. The plan was, I have some old code I wrote for Struth that lets me load and save screens of EGA text mode art. And what if we did that and let people load and save art? Like this, we could go boop, 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 import background, and you could tell it import directory title.dosdraw, and it would load, and we could sort of set up a bit of a PowerPoint presentation made out of EGA text mode graphics. And if you do that and let someone navigate through these screens, that's kind of a nice setup for interactive fiction, right? Just like a bit of text mode art, a bit of text. Let people make a little story in a game. That'd be good. Nice IDE. It's how do I exit my text entry form? Because at the moment it's not clearing it. Okay, there we go. So now I'm in the main menu. Exit out of that. Exit out of this. I get this pop up. Yeah, it's still extremely janky at the moment, Voxel. You have no exit, only entry. You have no worries about any kind of competition here for the jam. But yeah, this is QBasic 7. So, when I was writing Struth, my previous entry for the 2024 DOS Game Jam, which is here, I started off making it in QBasic 5, I think, because I wanted to do like exe compilation, and my previous experience was only with QBasic, which is the version that came with MS-DOS 6 that let you write basic code, but it didn't let you compile it. So I tried that, and Sonneveld was very helpful in helping me debug what was going on with my build process, and eventually we just upgraded it to QuickBasic 7 because that seemed like it had better handling of memory problems and things. So yeah, I have terrible code to load the screens that you can save with DensQuix's DOS draw program, which is, I think, also a thing I have links for. Yep. And then I save it using QuickBasic's bsave and bload commands. I have wrappers for them here. So I just save and load it straight into the screen 0 RAM, and it seems to work quite quickly. Like, quickly enough you can transition between screens by loading them straight off disk without any problem. Of course, on real hardware, disk access was way slower, so I don't know, I've never tried this on real hardware, but it was probably good enough, you know? We're not making an action game here. So yeah, like, after stream last week, what I did was I was derping around with this choose file sub that we made. And I added a few tweaks to it, so like it passes in an entire color theme structure to choose what text label, cursor label, colors to use, rather than having like infinity arguments to each function. It's a bit nicer. And what I was experimenting with was, you might have seen it there when I was running the thing. F1 import background. If I go C iffy import title.dd, the text goes green, and it goes gray if I type anything else. That's because I found a QBasic command that will let me kind of check to see if a file exists. And I was like, hell yeah, I could make this kind of autocomplete if we wanted. It doesn't work great, because a lot of these QBasic commands are not well designed. But this at least worked. I quickly ran into problems like, oh, what happens if I type 2 dots? Oh, well, in that case, the function that you're calling to check if a file exists, instead of just saying no, that file doesn't exist, it will say this is not a valid DOS file name, and it will just kind of crash. I don't know if it crashes when you actually do the exe. We haven't built an exe yet, and maybe that's something we should do next. Because that's one of those parts that gets very annoying and repetitive when you're trying to debug problems building it. That's a nice feature, thank you. I actually wanted to have some sort of basic ass tab completion in there, but yeah, this dir function, if we have a look at the help for it, dir file spec, a string expression that first specifies a file name or path. The path and file name can include a drive and DOS wildcard characters. Returns a file name that matches the specified pattern. Not all of the file names that match the pattern, just a file name. It just picks one. So if I go here to the immediate window, dir import title.star. Does that work? Yes. So it returns this, title.bs. if I go import, no, not even import, let's look at the game directory. Iffy.star, it returns iffy.bas. Hooray! So you'd think, okay, we can use this to look for file names to complete. The thing is, like, utils, we've got a utils.bi and a utils.bas file, and it's just going to pick one. Utils.bas. You can do that, and it will find the utils.bi file. That's great. But, like, I'm clearly hacking around this a bit to get this to work. And I don't know if... okay, it lets you have longer than 3 letters for the extension. But if you do an extra period accidentally... Bad file name. And what I discovered when I was typing was I accidentally did shift period, and I got a... No, don't go, puppy. Where are you going? She likes to leave when I've started using my streamer voice. So I was typing the file name, right? And I was like, utils dot, but I'd accidentally kept it shifted. And the right angle bracket is not a valid character in DOS file names. So instead of just saying, no, there's no file by that name, it's just like, no, bad person. You should know off the top of your head which characters are legal in MS-DOS file names. Off to perform unsupervised mischief, yes. Well, she's drinking some water at the moment, so that's good. If I can grab... Switch to puppy cam 1. Okay. Oh, yep, continuing to wander off. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. If you want treats, you can come here and be fed on camera. Point the camera at the window. She often likes to look out the window. So yeah, that's sort of what I was messing around with. Stan. Hello, Neko. I hope you're well today. I'm good enough to stream, which I guess is saying something. I don't have my completely fucked up filter on my webcam today, representing my internal state. It's a bit hot. Like, it's a bit hot and humid, and I feel like it's gonna storm later. Yeah. How are you? Good to see you. So, yeah, I reckon, like, I kind of want to get totally distracted and add file name completion to this text, you know, this file name input box. Because one thing you do have is a files command in QuickBasic, which you would think would list all of the files in a directory, and it does. Like, look, if you're reading this, you're going, aha, I can make a file chooser with this. I can make a little thing that displays all the files and lets the user pick them from a menu. They won't have to type anything at all. Hooray. If no argument is specified, all the files in the current directory are listed. This is perfect, right? Here's what it does. It literally runs the MS-DOS dir command. It doesn't give you this as data anywhere. It just spits it to the screen. Doing great, thanks, other than being wide awake at 5 AM. Oh dear. I was awake at 5:30 AM today, but that's because someone decided it was time for breakfast. Yeah, sleep is important. I get acid reflux a lot. It sucks. Anyway, what are we doing today with this so-called game, if it can so be called? I reckon what I want to do first is just try and make an exe out of it. Because if that's broken, it's easier to fix it early on than it is to fix it later. And I'm just going to use the GUI for it. Like, with Struth, I wanted to make it just as a batch file script that I could run and have it just automated. But there were a lot of hurdles in getting that working. And maybe the GUI does it, like, more intelligently. I don't think we need code generation for 286. I think we can turn that off. Far strings, cool. Make exe. Duplicate module base names loaded, can't compile. Might get a bit of game dev done before I get up. Nice. Good way to start your day. Now, what do you suppose that error actually means? Duplicate module base names loaded. We've got developing from bed. Sounds illegal. We've got like the UI.bi file that we loaded, because this is the include file for the subroutines that are in the UI.bas file. And I wonder if it's complaining about these, because these are include files which I need to edit, so I need to have them open in the editor, but they do have the same base name as the .bas files. See, when I load this, there's a file called iffy.mac, which we don't have available. And yeah, it's listed all of the .bi files in there. So if I exit this, I'm going to edit that file outside of the DOSBox. Like, it's really convenient to have them loaded, but maybe it's getting confused and thinks that those are not the files that they are. Control F4 to sync, and there we go. Shall we try and make an exe file now? No. I love that we've got... I mean, we can't click it, right? 80x87 or emulator math, yep, that's an option. Alternate math is an option. It's like alternate facts. Post-math society. We have our own alternate math now. I love that the 8087 code generation QB made my IBM XT run some of my code at 286 speed. Impressed my friends at the time, which that IBM really did. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of the backwards compatibility options here. Alright, can I make an exe with this? Cannot find file bcexe. Input path. Okay, I've come across this one before. I think we have to go back to the IDE and tell it where all of its tooling is installed. Cannot find exe input path. Oh, cool. I have to. I have to tell it what the input path is. C. Can I break out of this? Which was, I think, Shift scroll lock? Control scroll lock? No. Ultimate math, where 2.2 plus 2 really does equal 5. Yeah. I mean, really, when you look at mathematicians doing their imaginary numbers and things like that, square root of -1. It's all just made up anyway, right? This is a complete fantasy land that the mathematicians have invented. C. Oh, what the hell is my keyboard doing now? QBX BCEXE. Cannot find file. Input path. The hubris of this code. Oh yeah, sure, the user will never not be able to input the path. We will just keep asking them until they do it. Alright. In my terminal, find blah name BCEXE. Ah, of course, it's in the binb directory. C QBX binb BCEXE. Cannot find file BCEXE. I just told you where it was. I just told you. C QBX binb BC.exe. This is why I wanted Vstruth to automate this process. Okay, we're repeating this for every bash file we've got. Cool. QBX binb BC.exe. I mean, yeah, don't let the user abort this and then go back and edit the paths so that it knows where to find them in the first place. No. Just ask them every bloody time. Next DOS game jam I'm going to do is going to be cross-compiled. Link. Cannot find link. QBX binb again. QBX binb link exe. Is it asking me for... Oh, there we go. Okay, something happened. And the cat is now on the sofa. Shall we move the camera so that we can see the cat again? I guess you needed to set up your path before trying this. Exactly. Voxel. I think it's in here. Yep, set paths. And, I mean, there's a bin. Should this have been bin B? Oh, is it like a semicolon separated list, maybe? C QBX binb. Because there is a bin and a binb, yep. Okay, I'm out. Good luck. Thank you, Voxel. Take care. Library files, include files, help file. Okay. I think that might have helped. But we have allegedly made an exe now. We have. Hot damn. Oh, there we go. We managed to break it. Bad file name in module UI at address. Blah, blah, blah. Hit any key to return to the system. That's annoying. I wonder if that was because C starts with a period? No? C non-existent directory / period. Huh, that was after I did like period and then trying to type letters. So is that gonna be C? Yeah. C if the period letter. Aha. Okay, so you're allowed to have a period for the current directory, and you're allowed to have double period for a directory backwards, but you're not allowed to have period and then letters. It has to be something dot something. Can fix that later. But hey, we got the exe working. That's good. Run dev. I'll go move the camera. One of these days I'm going to mount a camera to some sort of Roomba-like device, and I can follow her around. Hell, I'll give chat control over it. So... that was an exe. What happens if we try and do it now that we've updated those library files? It works without complaint. Nice. And now we just have to prevent the user from typing an invalid file name. So I had some rules around this. Did I put them in? Yeah, sanitize file name. So we need to prevent... oh, jeez. This would be so much easier if I had regexes. This would be so much easier. I mean, when is the user going to type an invalid file name? That never happens, right? This loop gets us the very last path segment, which is starting at this index. So we kind of, like, what we want to do is, if the .pos is at the very start, then we don't let them type anything but another dot for the previous one. Jeez. So it would be something like, if .pos is equal to, and we only have single equals here for comparison and assignment, so we've got to be careful, is equal to last path plus 1, i.e. right next to the path segment, then slash dot backslash dot else. Do we have else if as a thing in this language? No. My solution would be shell dir b file and then read from file. Yeah, I've considered it, Koningstan. I don't want to put too much effort into this. Like, it's okay if we don't have a fancy menu-based file selector for the moment. because I have very limited time with the working and all, and even the 3-month lead up for the game jam that Emmy's given us is not going to be sufficient if I'm only doing this for a couple of hours a week. Rum to orsk. And if. Might be else if, one word. I'm sure it has it somehow. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we have this handy online help, so... Ah, there you go. You're right. Else if. So, else if. Yes, yes. Thanks, Android. I didn't put that space there. Android knows best. How do I want to express this? Inster No, give me mid string. Yeah. Mid string, which has the arguments reversed, of course. Filenames ref dot pos +1. Does that let me go off the edge of the string, I wonder? 1 is equal to a dot, then that's okay. Unless it's backslash. Which I think would mean because I have to kill off any other characters at the end. And this is how I'm doing it. This is my strip out the middle of a string bit of code. It's a bit verbose. And we're using one indexes for everything, so that's fun. So we could just say because we wouldn't be in this situation if there was a trailing slash added, because then the last path segment would be the empty string. So we'll just go and say it's everything up until dot pos +1. Am I thinking that correctly? Filename ref dot pos. That's the second one. And that's a length, so that's fine. That's fine, yes. I mean, I could probably I could probably just do this. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just run it and test it, and then we'll know for sure if it's fine. So the use case was C if v.f. I can't type that. Good. I can type another dot. Yep. I can't type a third dot. I can type a backslash. And maybe it would be good if we had like a beep to tell the user bad user, but that will do. And then if they do like something else, then that's just one dot. For some reason, the file exists function is okay with non 8.3 function file names, but at least now we're not crashing. Cool. So I will save that. I want to add .object files to my gitignore. Do I want to ignore the .exe as well? I mean, I feel like it would be nice to commit the .exe anyway, just so that, you know, people don't have to build this themselves. Technically, it should go into a dist directory, but I haven't gotten any kind of build process set up. I'll just ignore it for now. And yeah, skip commit. So what next? Yeah, I was building this function, draw text entry, and I kind of wanted it to be fancy. So this structure for the theme that it's using includes a, of course I don't have the definition anymore because I don't have those files loaded, but it includes a color for a suggestion. So that's what I wanted to use for some sort of very primitive autocomplete. Maybe I do that, because this is choosing files, but like I was thinking, and no promises, but I was thinking I could make this game engine to be like a PowerPoint style, navigate through screens with virtual buttons on the screen that you use your cursor keys to hit that and you choose an option. Or if I wanted to be ambitious, I could make it a text parser. And then the text parser thing, that could also benefit from having that kind of tab completion, right? I don't know. It might be a bit ambitious for what I have available to me in terms of brain power, but it's a stretch goal, yeah. I can put the code in there, possibly use it later. So, we've got suggestion foreground. And where's the draw function? Input text entry, there we go. So I want to modify this. Oh no, I need to modify the... There's got to be a way in Quick Basic to see the include files. Whoops. To see the include files and then let you edit them. Because I've seen it where if it has an issue with some of your include files, it displays them in line but in gold. There we are. Included file? Oh. It just lets you jump to it. Does it still show up in the list then? Have we opened it? Yes, it's opened it at the end there. So later we will have issues with that, I guess. But if it's not changing the .mac file, then we can always quit the editor and reopen it if we want to build an exe out of it. Okay, so that's good. Color theme. Suggestion foreground uses the text background. Good, good. And input text entry and draw text entry are here. There's our label text. There's our string reference. There's our cursor pass. String max. I guess at the end I will add suggestion. And then I want to draw that suggestion. And I guess the suggestion has to be the complete replacement string. It's just it's going to be longer than whatever the user's got in there at the moment. So we would copy this and draw it underneath the thing that the user is typing. We locate plus length of the label text plus 2, yeah. We don't need to change color based on the selection, we're just going text foreground, we're going suggest, was it suggested? Suggestion, okay. Need to be careful with my naming. Suggestion string and suggestion foreground. What the? There. Save modified include files first? Yeah, sure. I mean, actually, opening that include file that way might avoid that bug that we had with the making exe, because it knows it's an included file. Opened it the proper way. Anyway, so we've got suggestion text, actual text. Let's just display the right thing first. So in choose file, I think I need some utility file to get the path name. Because here's the thing, right? When we were doing tests earlier, we can print coder. No, we can print coder, see iffy, right? We can print dir iffy dot something. In fact, we could do like iffy star dot star, right? That would work to get some sort of completions. Maybe even if. So that completes a file, but is it completing it in the current directory or partial directory that we've got. Like if I were to do c iffy what did I call it? Import title.bas, title.dd. See, that comes back as just nonsense as well. That's the other thing that I'm not sure what the hell is going on. Title DFS. And there's probably some way we can do actual low-level DOS calls from QBasic to get sane data. Not start.bas, start.star. Okay, there's other files in that directory, I didn't realize. Wait, there is a file called titledfs, and it's empty. Why does it exist? Have I been somehow creating files when I've been typing in test file names? That's a little disturbing. Okay, well, let's remove those files first. Like you can see them here. Go clean that up. What have we got now? One file, title.dd. That's good. So if I did t star.star, what does that give me? Title.dd. But the thing is, that's not our current directory. We need to somehow extract this portion of the path that the user has typed, and then add the completion onto it. So that sounds like we need a utility function, because I'm pretty sure one does not exist. Let's go back to our sanitized file name, because we already had a bit of code here to look for the very last backslash. And this is going to be fun to try and hack together. I don't think we can return strings from these functions, so we'll have to have a string parameter that we pass in as a reference that comes back and gets edited. At least I'm pretty sure we can't. Yay, Lemmings music. So I won't try and do extra sanitization work because we've already got a function for this. What we will do is just copy some of this code and last path is then hopefully the final backslash character. We will make a new sub in the file io.bas. Sub base path. File path. Sure. Oh, I'm still thinking in terms of Perl and I guess PHP. $sign goes on the end. While searching is greater than 0. Okay. I don't know why I wrote this way, but if it works, then that's great. I don't want to think about it. Find path is in string of the last path in file path. Need to update that. So then, as output, we should be able to give it I mean, if there's no backslashes in it at all, we just have to return it as is, right? So if how do you do mid-string again? String variable. Start at 1. Go for a length of which should include the trailing slash. Which I guess is no, we should not include the trailing slash because this code path is for when we don't have a trailing slash in there at all. But then is that a file or a directory in this sort of term? Like, should we just return the empty string if there's no slashes? Yes, we should return the empty string if there's no slashes. Backslashes. I mean, in theory, we could have this thing return both the file name and the base path, so why not? Can't return string variables from QBasic, but you can update references to ones that you passed in, so in a way you can return multiple things. Hooray. And in this case, it should be everything from the end. We probably need this functionality anyway. And in neither case do we include the backslash. So the user of this function has to add it themselves. How do I just tell mid-string to just like do the whole string? I can just give it a large number, right? Or like -1 or because I was using this in my other code. Hang on, let me go look at it. I have to make this line syntactically valid or QBasic will yell at me. Yeah. So I want to update the definition of this. So can I go to File.io and go here and view included file? Oh, we don't even have the definition of this yet. Okay, cool. Declare sub base path file path string r base path string r file name string. Cool, cool. And I was gonna go here because I was like, hey, how do I? Oh, you just omit the last argument. Okay. And it will just go to the end of the end of the thing. Did we lose music? Oh, it's there. It's just very, very quiet. I might want to remove this from the playlist. I might want to review my whole background music playlist, actually. Because the next thing that plays is going to be loud. What if I didn't try and fuck around with replay gain for my terrible MP3 playing system, but instead I just put a compressor and a limiter on this thing? There's too much stream stuff to do, man. I haven't had the time to fix things. It's a miracle I fixed my microphone. And it's not like I've fixed my actual Borg Yeti display yet, so I can't mute by a simple touch. Oh, there we go. Where was the thing? Sanitize file and base path. There we are. So this, we just omit the last parameter, and that should be the thing. So the neat part of QBasic is we can actually run this ourselves. Print. Oh, hang on, R base. Someone is hammering. And I'm not sure it's actual hammering or some attempt at music. There's nothing that's more guaranteed to destroy my consciousness than thumping unidentifiable bass. Base path string is empty string. Ay-ya! Yeah, cool. It's found a problem in my other code. I'm not trying to run that right now. I should look into some noise cancelling hearing pieces for those moments. Everybody suggests that, YGY. It does not do shit. I'm honestly kind of fed up at people suggesting noise cancelling. It does not work. Like, it's great for, you know, like there's a drill outside, but it's no good for like thum, 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 thum. It doesn't work. And at work, people suggest the same thing for all the people talking. No. The noise cancelling tech is designed for like, oh, we'll strip out this background noise and let you hear your coworker. using his big, cool presentation voice. Yeah, sorry, it gives me the shits. I think it goes back to my tumor, the brain tumor that I had, that I can't filter shit out very well anymore. It's gotten a bit better than it was, but that sort of like inbuilt ability to just tune out of the background noise that humans seem to have, I don't have that anymore, and it's really fucking sucks. Like, I'll complain to my flatmate about the noise, and then he'll be like, what? Was that happening before? No, like, no, it's happening now. Can't hear it. Draw text entry. Okay, so what I was doing was I was trying to type a colon character, and then our file name is also empty string, and then we could call our function, which we called base path, with a test file name. Let's give it like c iffy.bas. Sounds like the problem I have with hearing aids. They amplify everything. Yeah, it's not going to be too discriminatory. I've heard that with modern hearing aids you can sort of do an equalizer on it, and like, oh, I'll filter out this range of frequencies and boost this range, which is nice, but it's not like, it's not going to save you from noise that is at the frequencies you want to be able to hear, but that is not a pattern you want to hear. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit discombobulated. Like, even being able to stream on the weekend is a big step up for me, but I'm not really altogether here, I must warn you all. I don't have a shield up. We're running with just hull here. I was reminded of the movie Office Space. Did you see the TPS reports? Works better with 2, but they've only given me 1. Oh, that sucks. Sort of when you said people ask you too often about it. Yeah. It's like this magic bullet that people always consider. Like, oh, noise-cancelling headphones. They will cancel the noise. Do they really? No, I've tried. It doesn't. It's kind of like if you have sleep problems and people start diagnosing you and like, oh, have you had a warm glass of milk before bed? Like, have you tried melatonin pills? Those help me a lot. And it's great that they want to help. But if you have serious sleep problems, you have tried these things already. So we're going to call this function, and we're going to give it the return parameters, and then we're going to print those things. There we go. Path is c/iffy/. Oh, we said it was not going to return the backslashes. Whoops. And the file name is iffybas. Or did we actually... Stardrop Thistledown, welcome in. I think we might have decided it was okay to have an empty string for that. You lured me into a false sense of pessimism. Well, Stardrop is actually all due to you suggesting that I do a just surprise stream, that I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do a fucking surprise stream. So here we are. You caught it. You're here, welcome in. It's just Gamedev. It's just shitty Gamedev with me and my kind of fucked throat from acid reflux last night, and half working brain, and neighbours making weird hammering noises. Well, you've surprised me. Oh no, yes. I am here, but I am not all here. I hate acid reflux. I hate it so much. I feel like I need to get like my bed tilted at an angle or something. Not that I've ever been able to sleep very well at that sort of angle, but we'll just have to try it. So that kind of worked, but not to our specifications. Let's go here. I think the idea was... no, because if we require the user to add a trailing backslash to the path, then for this case, when there wasn't a path in the original file spec that they were making, then they're now setting that to the root of the drive, which is not what we want. So we do want that to either be the empty string for the current directory or have a trailing backslash on it for some particular path, I think. I got a wedge pillow when my acid reflux was bad, which helped a lot, but then I had to throw it out, so if I have a bad night now, I just have to build my pillows up. Yeah, I've got a few, and it's not optimal. Yeah, I should try and find, like, the ideal combination of pillows and boosters and things. Because it seriously does fuck you up. Let's see. So we were just calling this by hand. So I was going to check what happens if we do no file name. Cool. What happens if we have another path part? What happens if we don't have any slashes? Okay. I think that'll work to our purposes. So if we go back to our choose file thing, here we are. I mean, I can just kind of copy this. Paste it here. Man, why did it have to capitalize that? Path. It's very strange. Does BASIC have do until loops? I feel like VB might have. QBasic has all sorts of weird loops. So we've got while, and the way to end while is, of course, wend. Let's have a look at the thing. So we've got while wend. We do have do. Can we do while, do until, exit do, and then loop to go back. So yeah, you could go do until blah 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 loop. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of keywords that they've thrown together. Like, you can exit do, right? You can exit for, you can exit function, you can exit sub, but you can't exit while. Alright, so in theory, if this is the sanitized file name, or file name, we don't have to print it out anymore. I have left myself a to-do note here for me to actually modularize this somehow, but fuck that, I'm lazy. QBasic was my first language at the tender age of about 8, and it was some time later that I realized a do until loop is a sort of weird thing to have if do while exists. I don't know, I think it makes sense, it's just that the logic is flipped as to whether it should be true or false to keep you going. And my favorite programming language, Perl, for starters, it lets you do if condition blah, right? That's pretty standard in C-like languages. But it also lets you do blah if condition for like a single line one shot, which only Perl, Ruby, and CoffeeScript have. Some languages do like a trailing if, but they do it for evaluating an expression, not deciding whether to run a statement or not. I really like this, and what makes it extra fun is Perl, instead of if, you can also do unless, which is the opposite of if. Yeah, Python uses it for expressions, yeah. I think I've seen it in Rust as well. While wend is the legacy loop from GWBasic. Do loop is the more versatile replacement. Aha, yes. Yeah, I do see occasional references to GWBasic here in the manual for QBasic. And I guess, like, yeah, if you want your language to take off in popularity, you have to make it as compatible enough with the other basics that people are going to just be able to just jump into it. Anyway, I like Perl because you can write stuff like that. It does have uses, you know, like if you've got your function do thing and you've got like a bunch of preconditions, you can just go like return unless thing okay right at the start. You can go return unless things is more than 3. Yeah. Unless sounds wild. I like it. It sort of flows naturally. But we are doing QBasic here today. And things are very different and sometimes shouty. So I've got the base path and the file name. What I wanted to do is maybe base file names. So this logic here was comparing to see if the matched file exists at the end of what the user was typing. And if so, we decide that's a legit file and we change the color to green. What I wanted to do was then also suggest a file name based on the base path plus whatever they've typed for the file name the base path plus whatever they've typed for the file name. And if whatever they've typed for the file name has a dot in it, I think we can do that, right? And we want to be kind to the weird MS-DOS things, so let's also say and inster file names ... else there was no dot, so we can go star dot star. All this for a very obscure feature that people probably aren't going to use that much in my game engine thingy, but I just want to add like quality of life things. Want to make it fun. So then and I guess if this comes back with something, then we suggest the entire replacement, which is our base path string plus suggestion file string. And if... Did you say star dot? That's my cousin. You have a lot of cousins. Star dot, drop star, yeah. Okay, if this is all working, and that's a very big if, we might get a suggestion text visible when we're entering the file name now. Let's give it a go. Very suitable background music for this. Oh, look, it's already suggesting file.io.bas. Import. Oh, I can't type anymore. Excellent, excellent. So it's kind of working because it's given us a suggestion, but it's also broken our ability to actually enter file names, which is suboptimal. Why has it done that? I didn't change anything about the keyboard input. Like, it's just drawing it, and I typed a whole bunch, so I know it's not like I'm drawing it over the top of what I was typing. Uh-oh, I'm making sauce, and I think I just curdled my milk. That's no good. See, that's the thing that handles the text entry. Did I accidentally overwrite a variable I was using for something else? Because that's a thing that can happen in QBasic. Well, let's see what this does. Like, what did we change here? Yeah, this is just displaying the suggestion. And we could make it a little bit more defensive by just saying if. Save a few cycles. But yeah, that shouldn't have changed anything about the file unless one of our things has a side effect, which wouldn't be that surprising, I guess. But this function seemed to be fairly functional. Let's choose file. There's the suggestion. There's the suggestion spec and what have you. I might shorten this code a little bit by just saying that. And maybe pull that to the top. But none of those things should be modifying it. I'm not calling insta wrong, am I? String expression, string expression. No, that's fine. Let's run it again. Yeah. Nothing that I'm typing is going in. It's just like it's being set to the empty string. Well, what happens if I just say forget about the suggestion? It's the empty string again. Ref dollar is the thing that we're actually passing in. And that can get truncated to the empty string by, for example, sanitize file name. Oh. Oh, we have an R file name dollars already. That's exactly what I was talking about with QBasic. You don't really declare your variables and like where they live, so when I decided I would have another one right here, split from the base path, I was actually nuking my other variable. Hooray! And if this was a language that said, you know, you have to declare your variables in advance, it would know I was trying to talk about two different variables of the same name. And throw an error. Let's just make small names for these. I mean, this should have been the dead giveaway that I've got the same name in this function call twice, but I wasn't really paying much attention because no brain today, no. So everything else will still use the file name as entered by the user, except this suggestion bit, which will use the bit that we split up there. Suggestion file, suggestion spec, suggestion file, blah 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 blah, RBP. Now, haha, now, import title DD, title, food, yeah, suggestion vanishes if we go back. If I type the I, it has that suggestion there. Oh, and there we go, bad file name. I was worried about this. So show me what it was trying to do there. It's jitspoe star dot star. So that would violate the DOS 8.3 file name thing. Welcome in, the salesman. Wait, is this MSQ Basic? Even better, the salesman. This is Microsoft Quick Basic version 7. I don't know if there's like an actual about this program thing here. I mean, there'll be something maybe in the index, right? Contents? Using help? Because this is the version that, you know, it's got the QBasic syntax that you would be familiar with from your DOS 6.22 version of QBasic that came with it. But this has a few extra bells and whistles, and it lets you create EXEs out of it. And it's very strange that it doesn't really seem to have a menu for telling you what kind of thing you're running at the moment. I guess it was just assumed because you bought the software with a big honkin' manual and everything. Anyway, yeah, like you've got QBasic, but you've also got the ability to make an exe file out of it. It's quite nice. And I'm just debugging this right now, where I've inadvertently made an illegal DOS file name and passed it to this. And this thing does not like it if you pass it anything illegal, and will just die instead of saying, oh yeah, there's no file by that name. Why would there be a file with that name? That's a illegal file. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to sanitize this even further. Illegal! Call the police. Possibly it's older than the about stuff was standard? Yeah, I guess so. Arrest James Necker. No arrest. I'm going to evade the law. The DOS police will not find me. But it kind of looks like, yeah, I could probably turn this whole thing into a subroutine. And then the subroutine can worry about whether that's a legit file name or not. And if it doesn't always give you a suggestion, that's not the end of the world. So what are we going to call this? We're going to put it in the file.io library, I guess. And we're going to have to grab this base path bit here. Or no, it's probably fine. Yeah, I'll make it just return the entire thing, I think. because that's what we need to work with in the rest of the UI anyway. Alright, so... brain not braining. I'll just copy this whole damn thing. And we can figure it out. We go to fileo.bas. Then we go view included file. Declare sub. I'll put it here. In fact, let's try and do this in alphabetical order where we can. File path string or suggested path string. And it's not really a file name, is it? It's suggest completion. File completion? Because I might have a different function later on for completing like verbs for the game itself. So yeah, let's do suggest file completion. Bit of a clunky name. It's fine. Suggest file completion. Can I just make that though? So. Meow. Statement cannot concur with include file. Delightful, delightful. Oh, I've already killed what was on my clipboard anyway, that's fine. And over here. Legal in direct mode. Delightful. So I guess I'll go to fileo.bas. Like, all that was just to save me using the user interface slightly. Here. Cool. Now that we've got that, it should have vanished from here. Good. I will grab my code out of choose file. It's okay, everyone, relax. My source is fine. And fine. Nice. So I will copy this bit, and in fact I will delete this bit as well while I'm at it. And then we will go back to fileo suggest completion. Don't have to care about that bit. And let's change that to file path. If inster file path and inster file path. And I have to fix up some of this bit as well. I'm getting semantic satiation on the word suggestion. Why are there two G's in there? But this should work how the original bit of code was working, and will break in the same way. And the fix for that, so much as there is possibly a fix, is going to be else if len our file names is exactly 8 characters, then it's just dot star, your cousin. And then finally else, it's less than 8 characters, we can do star dot star. That might handle all the cases. It might still fuck up if the user types dot something 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 something. But really, at this point, the user deserves whatever they get. Else if sounds like a nice name for a child. Make some sort of baby names for programmers. Book. So this is if it finds a file. Alright, this should work. Touch wood. And this is called suggest file completion. So we'll go back to our choose file function and we will use that code. And that means we temporarily don't need this bit anymore. We might want to get that back later, but it's fine. Suggestions is that suggest file completion. Our file name. All right, maybe this works. I love how it's always firing up the Lemmings music when I'm about to test my crazy contraption. Import title.dd. Yay. Jitspoe. Nope, still goes bad file name. Why? Release the blocker. Is that the spec? Yeah, so it was still going, looking for jitspoe to star.star, which is illegal. And yet I have this. Oh wait, that's 9 characters. It let me do 9 characters. Right. 8 characters was fine, and then I was allowed to type an additional letter. Will it work? Yeah, okay. Give me a new line, please. Will it work if I do this? I mean, first of all, this doesn't work, right? Because this is 9 characters. Yeah, I know. I want to run this line. Expected statement. Fuck you. Print. Bad file name. Lovely. I thought a file could have 7 characters before and 7 characters after the dot in DOS. Nope, it's 8.3. But even then, some of these QBasic functions are being inconsistent in what they accept. Does this work? Bad file name. if we're going beyond 8, then our spec is just the file name itself. No wildcard. We'll probably not find anything. In fact, no, we'll just say we can't suggest anything. Wait, no, that's not necessarily the case, because they could do something dot something and still have that longer than... but then that would be in this part. Which means I probably need to have another check in there somewhere. How does Tyrion's soundtrack go this hard? This is just the news music, yeah. It's really good. I was playing Tyrion 2000 fairly early on in my streaming, just like for one MS-DOS Monday, but I found it was difficult because the keybinds were like Control for left fire, Alt for right fire, and then, you know, arrows for moving up and down, and my GNOME desktop was grabbing those and happily switching desktops for me. Throat not doing well today, so I'm gonna not push it too hard. Yes. Don't forget, if you learn Auslan, you'll never have to speak in a stream ever again. Unless your mom comes in. Yeah, I haven't checked today, but I think my captions are running. Yeah, they are. Oh, because he's American and he uses different sign language, of course, yes. Well, I think there's a few other streamers from America. It's gaining popularity over there. I think the Americas have started to get in on the phenomenon of streaming on Twitch.tv. So can I rerun this and have it all be fixed? Yes? Oh, good. But this is somewhere else. Bad file name. So this is just check if the file exists. So I feel like... Necrokeys? Hello, hello. You've caught me off guard. I've been trying to debug weird QBasic things. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. What were you doing? Astral Chain Part 6. I will finish this game or cry trying. Well, we're all wondering, did you manage to complete the game? I'm absolutely knackered. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you for Spoiler, there was no tears. Ooh. Well done. GG's. Hi. If you're not following Necrokeys, please do so. In fact, let me check I am, because I'm not entirely sure. No, that's opening up in the OBS browser. I don't want that. Oh, screw it. I'm very scuffed today. I am so scuffed today. It's a miracle that I'm streaming at all. I did manage to fix my microphone, which is like, yes, win. I want to do some more streaming today. Is your cat in a tent? Moosey Fate, my cat is not in a tent, but that backdrop you see is part of the sofa she's on. And the brown material she's sleeping on that looks like a sort of woven mat is in fact a piece of cardboard packaging that came in a box. And I was like, yes, this is for cat. This is cat-sized. It is springy cardboard that's been made to, like, be soft. Where the cushions fold back, I thought they folded forwards. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You're adorable, puppy. People love you. Yeah, so it could be, like, it'd be nice to have a little tent for her and she could go camping. It's one of those days. Yeah. Yes, I have been a bit scuffed myself lately. Instantly understood to cardboard. That must be heaven. Yeah. I put it out specially for cat. How's the game coming along? Slowly, very slowly. I am, chipping away at this as a sort of fun thing I want to do for the DOSember Game Jam, which is, by the way, right here. Not a lot might come of it, but it's something for me to do to keep myself sane while I'm working. Still be able to stream is like good, and I like being able to do this little stream every now and again with fine people on the internet. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with me, hi, I'm James Neko. I occasional retro streamer, do DOS things, except when I don't, why not? I've most recently finished like Ultima 9 and Oni, and I'm doing this Game Jam game just as a way to do little streams here and there, no fixed schedule exactly. Probably generally the weekend, because I am very low on brain power at the end of the day, what with my new job and all. But hey, continued employment is good. And what we're doing here, I'll tell you a bit about the game if this bloody thing was working properly. In a previous DOS Game Jam, I made a game called Struth, and it was also in Quick Basic. Yeah, okay, I don't care. And for the backgrounds, I used DensQuix's DOS Draw program to draw cool ASCII art for 80 by 25 EGA text mode. And I had some functions left over from that game. I was like, yes, I could use it for this game and just import the file and let people navigate between these screens like a PowerPoint presentation except for DOS. And you could kind of, add a little story to it and make it interactive fiction. So I made Iffy interactive fiction for you, and we can load... Oh wait, hang on, it's load import title.dd, and you can load the screen from DOS Draw and then save it in a way that Quick Basic will be able to load it more faster later. And I don't know how much of a game I can make out of it, but at the very least it would be fun to just have the ability to load these screens that you've drawn in DOS Draw and navigate between them. And it would be a tool for other people. Like, non-programmer people could use this to make their own little game idea. Why not? Maybe. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm running into a bunch of annoyances because this Quick Basic command here is supposed to tell you basically if a file exists or not. But if the file name you are asking for is not a legal DOS file name, it will throw a hissy fit instead of just saying, well, no, that doesn't exist, it can't exist because it's an illegal file name. So there's that. And I think I need to extract this out to its own function now to just test if a file name exists. Or maybe I need to make this more gooder at sanitizing file names, but like, it's weird, right? It's really weird. It will let you put in a string that is way longer than the 8.3 file names. But the moment you put a dot in there, it's like, oh, this was supposed to be an 8.3 DOS file name. I can't have that. And you're going to look for a bit and de-stream. Good luck with the programming. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. Go do post-stream stuff, Necrokeys. Look after yourself. Take care. So, all I really want is for this to work most of the time, and if it doesn't work, that's fine, because this is just for suggesting if the file name is correct or not. It's not necessarily for definitely loading and saving files, and if it crashes, then it's fine. It's just the person who's making the game that will see the crash. It's not the person who's playing the game that will see the crash. How is it the puppy is looking so cute today? Yeah, it is kind of cuteness overload. I think because I managed to get the camera a lot closer to her when she was on the shelf today and on the sofa now. That might be exaggerating the cuteness. Looking after a cat next weekend. He is my friend. Nice. Yeah, let's do this. He has an unusual body shape. Can never work out if his body is short or if his legs are short. It feels like both, but you'd think that that would just make him a small cat. Weirdly disproportionate. I was outside in the real world yesterday night and I passed someone with a corgi. Very silly proportioned dog. Absolute heckin' chonker. Check file exists R file path. Okay. No, it should just be file path, right? Oh, not sub. Okay, yeah, function. So what we need to do is I feel like I should use the splitting function I had. Let me find where I was using it just to make it easier. And this can just become if so this will be a bit of duplication of effort because I'm already calling base path before, but it's fine, it's just code. Where was I? So what I'll do is I'll normalize these bits, or just this bit really. I really wish I had regular expressions. I'll do it the same way I did in suggest completion. Yeah, because it's basically doing the same thing as suggest completion. It's just suggesting whether the file exists or not. There's much better ways to do this, I'm sure. But we're working with what we've got. And it's funny how this text here used to say exit sub, but when I copy pasted it into a function, it's automatically updated it to say exit function. I mean, you may as well just have the thing be called exit, but that would probably exit the entire program. Oh my god, does that actually say if len rnf string is greater than 12? Because that's not a variable I've declared, and it's working anyway. Because sloppy variable declarations. I need to go fix that in suggest completion. Ooh, SimCity 2000 music. And actually, we don't need to be doing all this star stuff because we just want to see if the file actually exists, but we want to check that it's a legal 8.3 file name. I remember he might be gaslighting me, but I vaguely remember an option to make variable declaration mandatory. Interesting. I don't know what the syntax for that would be, though. Unless it's like with dim. Scope rules or declaring? Scope rules? Might be a variant of the option command, or as I suspect it might just exist in my imagination. Oh, well. Well, if I could code up this game entirely on your imagination, Koenigstand, that would save me a lot of effort. Please let me know what the compiler for your imagination is, and I will start writing code to upload to your brain. It's been 3 decades since I regularly used QB, yeah. The scope rules. Let's just check for an option, but I think it's, I think the Koenigstand bot is hallucinating again. There's option base. Another raid. Jitspoe, welcome in. Wonder how many decades it's been for me. Hello. Welcome in. It's getting a bit dark. You can just about see me. Hi. How are you doing? Yes, I am here too. Welcome in. Ronnie the Zombie and CSLR doesn't game. Welcome. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for raiding in. I'm afraid you're not in for a particularly high energy stream today from me. I'm feeling very scuffed and I'm just kind of derping around in Microsoft Quick Basic 7. Lamau, we were just talking about Commander Keen. Yes, that's the alert that I have there. It's a good game, Keen. Have you heard, if you like Commander Keen, have you heard of Foray in the Forest? Anyway, I rated James Neko for a reason. Yes, welcome in, Jitspoe. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing your username wrong. I'm assuming it's like it's Po, but like with Jitspoe. Welcome. I am James Neko. I am a Australian retro-ish streamer. Mostly does MS-DOS things, except when I don't. And I have a cat. She's currently asleep on the sofa over there on a lovely sort of textured cardboard padding thing that I found. Nope, but I'll check it out. It is a fantastic mod for Keen that is like a complete source port, total conversion. It is very impressive. I spent all day 3D modeling and fixing up random networking code. A low energy stream is just what I need. Well, welcome in. Calico kitties are the best. Welcome in, Phil Powers. And all cats are beautiful, as I like to say. ACAB. But yeah, we are here tinkering away on this QBasic code of mine. Quite basic, technically. Just went on a tangent wondering, like, can I forcibly make it so that I have to declare my variables instead of variables just magically coming into existence? Maybe not, but we can tell whether arrays start at 0 or 1, so that's nice. Let's go back to the code. I was here faffing around with this dir function from QuickBasic, which you would think would be a nice easy way to find whether a file exists or not, but actually it will throw a wobbly if you give it a invalid file name. So, I mean, an invalid file name surely also doesn't exist, but no, that's its own whole separate issue. So, what was I doing? Yeah, I was modifying this other code I got from a file name suggestion feature to just see if we can check this somehow. And I can get rid of that. And I can get rid of that. And that's probably sufficient. So then I'm gonna uppercase, let's see, check spec is uppercase check spec. And maybe base file names is dir of check spec. And then finally, if dir comes back to us with a file name that happens to match the end of whatever the user gave us, then that's maybe the file exists. Well, I got a raid and run as a friend is also streaming. Can't be rude. Cheers, peers. Thank you so much for stopping by. No worries. Yeah, if you need to do post-stream stuff, look after yourself, get some food, no worries. Just do your thing. I'll be here with the cat and the code. VBDOS has option explicit, but that doesn't seem to be in QuickBasic. Yeah. Oh well, doesn't matter. Thank you for looking it up, Kingstan. Basic is cool, but gives me nightmares from when I was trying to write a basic interpreter on a custom emulated ISA. Still haven't finished it. I have a lot of unfinished projects, and in fact many of these unfinished projects are old QBasic games that were half done. So kind of an impetus for me doing some of these coding streams is like, maybe I can dust off some of those old things and make them into an actual game that's like playable with a win condition and things. This that we've got so far, let's see if I can run it, is not. Yes. This is an idea for the DOSember game jam that Mfoolery has been doing, which, by the way, bang jam. So previously, last year, for the DOS 2024 game jam, I wrote a game called Struth in QuickBasic, and I had a bunch of functions for loading code, loading graphics out of DensQuix's DOS draw program. So you could do that on your little web browser, make some nice art in EGA 80 by 25 text mode, and you could load it into the game, and that was cool. And I thought, why don't I take that for this DOSember game jam, and I will make a thing that lets you import those and string them together in a sort of PowerPoint presentation, but for DOS. And you could use that to make your own little interactive fiction game. So that I haven't gotten very far in it, but I can load, for example, import title.dd. Oh good, and that's not working. But let's see if this works. Yeah, cool. So this is something I just threw together in DOSdraw just to test it works. I could probably load some other stuff actually. Let me go Struth. Gamedat. Let me have a look because I don't have a file listing handy. Gamedat. Yes. So where was the title? Title.dat. Cool. There you go. So that's the title screen from my game. It loads a bit slowly here, but that's because I'm importing it. There's a way for me to load it more quicker, just using QBasic's bsave and bload. But for the moment, I'm just tinkering around to see what's possible. And what I was hoping to test was like the code that I wrote to change the color of this text to green if the file exists. It now seems to be broken, but at least it's not. It's broken in a way that isn't completely breaking everything. As in exiting the program. So why is this not working as it was? Hell yeah! Welcome in, hell yeah. How are you doing? Poppy! Oh, also, hi James. Let's give... Wait, hang on. First of all, we got raided. Did I give jitspoe a shout out? I didn't because I was just caught off guard. So hang on. So jitspoe... What was jitspoe up to? Most people playing Digital Paint, Paintball 2 dev. Hopefully finish the new paint grenade syncing tonight. Software and game developed. Nice. More fun games. And if we're talking digital painting, friend of the stream, hell yeah, is an artist and does art streams and is cool. My voice is going, so apologies if I'm going to have to call the stream short at some point, but I'll keep going as much as I can. I really want to at least finish some of this file name entry code so it works nicely. So why was this not detecting that the file exists? What we could do is we can just call it. I do art in my mornings, which are prime Aussie times. They are, yes. Print check file exists. See ify.bas. 0. That does not exist. Okay. Why? Maybe we can put a breakpoint here and try it again. And then we can see what the hell it was thinking. You'll have to restart your program after this edit. Boo. Do you think if I watch your stream long enough, I will learn programming? Sure, why not? Really, all you just got to do is have an itch to scratch, an urge to tinker with something yourself, and maybe if you see me doing something, you'll get that urge. I could do like formal Necro teaches you programming streams, but that would require my voice works and my brain works, and neither of these things are going particularly well lately. Okay, so we can't stop there and print out things, but we can just modify the code to print things out anyway. and then we can call it as we were doing before. Maybe if I watch long enough, I'll be itchy. But does that mean I have Neko allergies? So let's see. The check value is C iffy iffy bass, which is what I put in. The match is iffy bass, but the value of the exit function is 0. And this is supposed to... Oh, here we go. It's the same bug as before. We have copy-pasted code that was previously using other variables, and we did not look to check if the variables needed a different name for this bit. And QuickBasic is being very generous and just imagining that this variable exists in scope, when in fact it does not. So this is called file path in this function. That should work properly. Oh no, my nose is already starting to itch. Well, if you go on itch.io, for example, itch.io, jamesneko.itch.io, yeah, you can totally find the game that I made that I'm reusing code for this second game. Okay, so this should work better now. And if I go blah, import background, c struth, gamedat, endgame 1.dat, there, it goes green when it knows it's a legit file name. And maybe it will break less, but no promises. And this is one of the endgame screens from Struth. So that's good, and it's working, and I should save things and commit them to Git. So that's check file exists and suggest file completion. But one thing that isn't implemented just yet is using the completions, which is what I wanted to put that in there for in the first place. So in choose file, we're getting the suggestion here. We're drawing the text entry. And I think what I want to do is actually have input text entry here be the one that's responsible for like using the completion text, because it will be able to adjust curpos and things appropriately. So it handles the keys. And chur string 8 is backspace, I believe. Should we double check what tab is? I'm pretty sure tab is 9. Print get is it? How do you do it? No, you know what, I can't even remember how you do it. I'm just going to assume it's 9. And what we'll do is if expect expression, yeah, screw you. Stir max, we need to have the suggestion as well. If suggestion is not the empty string and the suggestion is longer than what we've got typed already, so we need to go and len suggestion is greater than the length of stir ref, which is the stuff that the user's typed already. Then we can allow them to complete it, else we burp. And burp here is just a little function I made to make a boop sound. There's already a quick basic command called beep. You can hear it here. If I type beep, it's a very loud, harsh beep. So I made a burp. Oh, argument count mismatch. Lovely, thank you so much. Can I edit that here? Chat. Suggestions. Quick Basic will not let you do a lot of things if your code isn't syntactically perfect in a lot of places. Okay, can I do that now? Argument count mismatch. Cool, cool. Yeah. There we go. That's my alternate beep noise. I think I also made a boop. Yeah. That's more like a positive sound for like, you did the thing. And this is the you are a bad user. PuppyCam at 9%. That's okay, hell yeah. This one is PuppyCam 2, which is pointing at the shelves here. PuppyCam 1 is the one pointing at the sofa where she has the lovely cardboard packaging. Let's give you a close-up since you're here and you love Poppy. She's just having a snooze there on the sofa. As pointed out earlier in chat, it does kind of look like she's in a little tent, but that's actually the back of the sofa that you're looking at there. And now I want to make a little tent for her. Cardboard is the best. It really is. This cardboard packaging, I am very impressed by this simple cardboard packaging. They've taken a sheet of cardboard, they've run it through like a shredder, but instead of shredding it completely, it's given it a sort of woven reed mat kind of texture to it that's soft and springy. Fantastic. If I were a cat, I would be sleeping on that as well. Cats. Alright. A little bit of Gamedev. Brain running out of juice, throat running out of juice. I'm going to fix things up, and then we can carry on the raids from these lovely people who have raided us. Necrokeys and Jitspoe. I sleep on those all the time. Wait, I mean my cats. Of course, yes. So we're feeding the input text entry file function the suggestion text. And if you press tab, what we want to happen is we won't allow tab completion in the middle of a string. We'll just assume we want to complete whatever's there. So we'll go stir ref is the suggestion, and we'll change the cursor to be at the end. Alright, let's try this. Import background, import title.dd. It works, it works, it works. I have to go now, sadly. The day is beginning and I have a lot to do. You know, Sunday chores like relaxing and doing nothing. Jokes aside, Lucius is awake now and I spend my mornings with him. Hey, human Lucy, how are you? Yes, good to see you, Helia. Take care. I will likely bump into you later. In maybe Mem stream. And yes, I'm seriously running out of juice here, friends. But we've got that function working. Let's give it another test or two. Let's type in C. Hang on, when I was here... Okay, there is a cursor, it's just you can't see it very well. I was hoping it would be brighter. Truth... Gamedev... It's a pity you can't complete the directory names. Howplay.dat. Do rest, you need your energy. Yeah, I do, but I don't like spending all of my energy on work for the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday is the problem. I kind of resent that I have nothing left for myself. Okay, that's working. Let me see if I can fix the cursor color in draw text input. Wherever it went. Yeah, there we go. Cursor. Color. Locate. Okay, I reckon it's just because the background text that we've drawn is that dark grey. Gotta go? No worries, Helia. Thank you for stopping by. Take care. So now we have to have the text foreground color match the blinking underline. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. People will type things and it will work for them, I think. But if we wanted to, we could mess around with this and actually have like our own cursor drawn. But that works. That works and it looks good. Git commit again. And okay, yeah, I would love to do more with this game, but I'm out of brain. So let's have a quick look at Twitch and see who's on. Wait, we can look at the cat. We can look at the cat while I look around on the Twitches. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Still, I got a fairly long stream out of this. I might tinker around later if I have the energy, but I'll try and keep most of the work on stream so we can develop this game together. Let me just wait for things to load because things are loading very slowly, just like my brain. Adverts. You know what? Keen was mentioned earlier. We could go raid Captain Clever, who is doing Keen mod practice runs. Captain Clever does a lot of cool speedruns of Keen and modded Keen. Yeah, I think that's probably the best destination to send you. So here's a raid message. You can copy it if you like. Oh man, everything of mine is sort of like loading very slowly and being very disturbing. Yep, cool, he's not on BRB or anything. So, raid message, I should copy it myself. Thank you, Neko. And yeah, just thanks again, Jitspoe and Necrokeys for the raids. I appreciate it a lot. I'm sorry I can't like stream longer or have my face visible because my ring light is out of commission at the moment. Thank you all for being here. Take care, look after yourselves. I need to do /raid to actually start this thing going. Clever. There we go. So yeah, Captain Clever, another cool retro streamer. If you like Keen, you'll like Captain Clever. And I will see you maybe next weekend. Like, if I'm feeling high energy enough to actually do a stream. I still want to stream. It's just, like, on a weekday is just right out. There's no way. And I'd love to fix up some of my other stream stuff that's been broken in the meantime. But we'll see how that goes. Look after yourselves. I'm out of ideas for things to talk about, so time to hit the raid button. Bye-bye. Take care.